while we're waiting, everybody in the chat, let me know, do you know Lisa, or you, one for yes, two for no? You know Lisa or you don't?
You will soon.
You will soon. Okay. Mighty fine lady. Mighty fine. Jan says yes. Okay. So most everybody, I think, if I'm intuitive enough, would say, yeah. A couple people on here that I don't recognize that may not. So I'm going to hit the record, and I'm just going to spend just a couple seconds for those of you who don't know. Charles Grooms, my buddy from a long time ago. Welcome, Charles. Glad to have you here. Lisa has been part of the Ranking Factory family for a very long time. She's been involved basically with us from the beginning. Throughout that time, we've gotten to know Lisa a lot. She speaks on, or has spoken in many conferences on SEO, on agency building, and recently just doing the virtual circuit for SEO. Was the last time you spoke was at Dory's? Were you at Dory's?
Last time we saw each other live was at Rockstars 2019, I think.
Yeah, it was the last. That's the last live one. So, but in the meantime, Lisa has put together some courses, for some of the members here at Ranking Factory, and they absolutely adore and love her teaching, and it's really just things that she wants to share with us under the circumstances that we find ourselves, give us some golden nuggets for our businesses. And if you feel led to learn more, take a deeper dive, she'll have an offer at the end here. And in true Ranking Factory form, for when I do these, if you decide that you want to participate in that, there's also a special gift from me, at the end to make it a much easier experience for you to participate in learning. Because let me tell you, people that's participated in her classes, even to the extent on the free webinar, Lisa, I didn't tell you this, but RJ, who's our support, he said, man, I was on the thing and I learned this and this and this. I already did this, that, and this, and it already worked. So he was excited. He was pretty excited. So with that being said, let's just kind of hop in. If you guys are on Facebook and watching, I don't monitor the questions on Facebook. So if you want to hop on the Zoom link that I gave you, we will be monitoring all questions through the Zoom and answering all those questions, from Zoom that way. Will there be pizza?
I didn't bring any, so.
You didn't bring any? All right. Well, I guess the answer is no, and no virtual pizza either. So, like I said, if you're on Facebook, I don't know if Gary's monitoring Facebook and can, pop in and ask us the questions, but, if not, I prefer you to hop on the Zoom and so you can ask the questions in the chat here and we can monitor them. That being said, it's all yours.
All right. Well, thank you, Patrick. I appreciate it. Patrick said something I want you guys to just right from the beginning know. That way, if you're not obliged to stay on, you might want to be. This is something I don't like to do anything where I don't give you something of value. So we're going to spend an hour and we're going to give you some amazing tips and tricks and some secrets about your business that I think are actionable, can help you right away. And then, as Patrick said, we will have, we have a program that you can at least look at and see if it's for you. But what I wanted to say was, Patrick, when he said he had a gift for you, I want to be very clear. He literally is giving you back his commission on, and in a lot of these things, when we sell something, there's some type of partnership there. And Patrick, in true Patrick form, is why I love this man, is he said, you know what, it's Christmas, give this to these guys. They need it more than I do. So there's a real special offer. If you go to any other webinar, you're not going to see what you see today because Patrick is giving you back his share of what's going on. So with that said, hopefully you guys will stay on. We got some really cool things to show you. We have a fun little title, How to Scale Your Business Without Working Crazy Hours or Hiring a Bunch of People. That's important to me because I work those crazy hours and I really struggle to grow my business. But along the way, I learned 3 secrets that changed my life completely. And so today, that's what we're going to talk about today, how I built my agency to a $3 million agency using these secrets. Okay, before we start, the first secret I want to give you, it's a bonus secret, okay? It's not part of the 3, but believing in yourself is the #1 thing you have to do. And in 1880, Thomas Edison was literally told that his light bulb was going to be a complete failure. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't have taken that the right way. Well, he actually tried to invent the light bulb 1,000 times, 1,000 times before he actually invented a light bulb. He actually succeeded on his 1,001th try, which was amazing. How about you guys? You can throw it in the chat if you want. I would have quit at maybe 50, maybe 100. I don't know if I would have had the wherewithal to go, and do something for 1,000 times. And after the 1,000th time, if I received a failure, keep going. And through this, I've learned that that's what you have to do. Whenever you fail, you have to just keep going because those failures eventually turn into successes. So the next thing I want to talk about is how does that play in? Okay, so there's me rocking the tie-dye back in the 70s. In 1970, when I was a young girl, I was actually physically told I would never be a millionaire. And I would talk about things back then and talk about what I wanted. And I wanted big houses and nice cars because that's what I was seeing on TV. That's back in the Charlie's Angels day and some of that really crazy stuff. And I saw that and said, that's what I want. And I was actually told, that's not going to happen. So, that's a TV program. That's never going to happen to you. I don't know about you guys. If you were told similar, go ahead and put in the chat, yep, that was me, or, I was never encouraged or supported. Well, I held that false belief until I was in my 30s. I literally just didn't feel like I would ever be able to get out of my quote unquote lot in life because that's what I was told over and over and over. So I believed it. So what happened when I was in my 30s? I read a book, and you might have read it. It's called The Millionaire Next Door. And if you haven't read it, man, you got to read this book. And the reason being is because they go into a lot of statistics and a lot of crazy stuff you probably don't even care about. But something in there struck me. I learned that people that were kind of like me, right? So first generation, millionaires, never went to college and had, often only a C average in school. So nobody in my family was a millionaire. Nobody in my family finished college, or most of them didn't even go. And I had a D average in school. And here was this book telling me that was the most common millionaire. And it was against everything I had heard or believed. I actually thought that you had to come from money, or, somehow it was because you went to Harvard, or, oh, those were for the straight A people. In fact, most millionaires in this country had a C average in school, didn't go to college, and are average people just like us. The minute I read that book, I felt, first of all, fooled. But I also knew that I could then do it, right? It gave me the belief. And we were just talking about beliefs. All of a sudden, others could be a millionaire. So why couldn't I? I was just like them, right? I was just like them. You can do that too. And you have to start believing I can do better in my business. I can be a millionaire, whatever your goal is, whether it's more time with the family, more money. If you believe in it, that's secret #1. That's bonus secret. If you start believing in it and really start just not saying it can't happen, it will actually happen. And Robert Kiyosaki, I really like him. He has actually said, if you want to be financially free, you need to become a different person than you are today and let go of whatever has held you back in the past. If you don't know his story, another book I read around that same time, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you have not read this book, it's another one you should really pick up and read. This guy was basically told by his dad over and over and over, you need to get a job. You need to go get a job. You need to work for a living. Stop with the dreaming. Stop with, everything you think is going to happen ain't going to happen. Well, the truth is, big business doesn't want us to know. They don't want us to be rich. They don't want us to figure out what every millionaire has figured out. They want us to fail because there's no benefit to us succeeding. In fact, if all of us figured it out, they would have no workforce. See, we're the people that go out and work the jobs that earn them the money. And that's what Robert Kiyosaki actually teaches. And so again, I read that book and I had this true aha moment, like, oh my gosh, I don't need to have a job. And he actually went on to say the richest people in the world build networks. Everyone else is trained to look for work. Think about that, trained to look for work. And I need you guys to be crazy interactive in the chat with me. Jump in there. Let's talk about this. I want this to be an interactive session. Anyone else feel like you were trained to work? I know when I went to school, no one told me about business. No one talked to me about money. All I heard was, what do you want to be when you grow up? What job do you want to have when you grow up? Right? Now, all of you here are in some way an entrepreneur. You wouldn't be here. But at the end of the day, all those beliefs that are in our head, believe it or not, are still holding us back. And that's something to keep in mind. Now, spoiler alert for everyone here. Okay. Spoiler alert. It took me another 14 years after reading those 2 books that year to finally become a millionaire. Okay. 14 years to finally become a millionaire. And that's a long time, right? Why did it take so long? Well, just knowing that is not going to make it happen, right? Just magically knowing those 2 pieces of information didn't make it happen. I didn't have a vehicle for success. Okay. And you're going to learn some really cool things today. And I had to figure out everything all by myself, right? There was no one big total program that covered everything. And I didn't have the support I needed. Now, I want you guys to know, I'm going to tell you about a couple people today because they too went through some of the same programs that I'm going to be talking about today. And in 2018, Terry Power, if you know him, he joined our previous version of our program and he actually 2x'd his business, doubled his business in less than 18 months. He came back in 2020 to go through the program again. Now, the program's a different program. We've totally ramped it up and done some other things to it. And now his new goal, he will be in our January class. His new goal is to 5x his business. It's amazing. Now remember, Terry's just like me. He's just like you, right? And, he didn't have all the things that we thought we were supposed to have, right? We weren't those first or second generation, come from money, have Harvard degree types. And that's what I thought you had to have. So my goal today is twofold. If you spend the next 40 minutes with me, beginners, I want to help you avoid the mistakes I made, right? So you can get to faster and easier success. And my established business owners, the number one thing I want you to learn today, it's not your fault, right? If you're failing, if your business is not everything you want it to be, if you know you could do better, it's not your fault. We have been trained to fail. We've been trained to want jobs, and we've been trained to think that business is risky, okay? That stops today. Business is not risky. A business is far better than any job, and you never have to go back to a job again. No matter what they tell you, don't listen to it, okay? I want you to believe that. I want you to believe it. I want you to believe that success is not only possible, but there's no going back, right? I have gone 23 years without becoming a millionaire. Ted, we need to change that. We definitely need to change that. Okay, the power of commitment. One of my favorite quotes of all time is by Tony Robbins, who said, if you want to take the island, then burn your boats. What did he mean by that? So say you want to go and you want to take an island someone else has. You have to go to war with those folks, right? So you're going to kind of go rowing up there on your boat. When you hit the shore, burn the boat. Why? Because if you have no exit strategy, you have to succeed. You have no choice, okay? And that's what total commitment is. And what Tony was saying is with absolute commitment, that's when you're going to get the ideas and the insight and the things you need to create real victory. If you tell yourself you have an out, if you give yourself an out, if you're not fully committed, you'll take the out, right? When the fighting gets hard, you're going to jump back in that boat and you're going to go. So I need you guys to be absolutely committed to your success. Yeah, Patrick said no retreat. Exactly. That is secret number 2, free, because we still have 3 real secrets. I was absolutely committed. I was never going to go backwards once, I got to a certain point. So I want you guys to, if you're sitting in a room right now and you have the ability to do this, I want you to think about doing this out loud. Like, don't just read it, but do it out loud. Say to yourself, I commit that as soon as I know that these 3 secrets are the key I need to scale my business, I'm going to go all in. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go into our program. It means whatever you learn today, you're going to put into effect. Whether you get into our program or not, you're going to take action. Because remember, that commitment is what's going to get you there. Like, Ted said, today is the day. No, I have an out when I die. Ted, I love that. That's your out. I love that. Yeah. When we pass away, then we can give ourselves a break, right? Otherwise, we have to be totally committed. 14 years is a long time learning I could be a millionaire and then becoming a millionaire. Becoming a multimillionaire happened quickly, right? Once I learned I can make 1 million, it was very easy to make 3 million, right? So that's what you have to think about, that commitment. So let me show you what going all in looks like, guys, because there's 2 types of going all in. There's this one. Is that what you're, like if you're doing Christmas lights, this is someone who's not all in, right? You drive down the road, you see these houses, they are not all in. This, my friends, is all in, okay? These guys put up Christmas lights. That's how I want you to think about it. Going over the top. When you think about, could I do more? Think about these Christmas lights and say, I could always do more. There's always room for more commitment. All right, if you don't know me, let me take 10 minutes to tell you a little bit about myself. Not a boring story, to be a fun, interesting story. I actually own a digital marketing agency in North Texas. I'm an author, speaker, coach, mentor, and most importantly, the owner and CXO of 3 businesses, one of which is my marketing agency. Now, that is where I grew. If people are wondering, well, you have 3 businesses, where'd you make all your money? In my marketing agency. The other 2 businesses are new, including this one, which is a training company. Now, how my friends see me is on the left, right? This is how they see me, just smiling, having a good time. A little bit more professional for my clients. And this is how I see myself. Now, I put this up so you guys will laugh. You have to be able to laugh at yourself. I put my head on Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow body because I need to remind myself each and every day that I have to be a badass, right? If I want to succeed in business, I have to be a badass, whatever that means to me that day. I have to go out there, I have to go after it, and I have to project myself with that confidence. So this is something I used to have on my screensaver quite often when I was trying to just keep that mentality that I just got to be a badass. I got to get this thing done. But I wasn't always successful. I started out just like everyone else, right? Right out of high school, I joined the military. I was a D student, so I had no other choice. It was either go get a job directly out of high school or go into the military because my grades were that poor, right? And I had a lot of behavioral problems as a kid, so that was all on my record. There was just no way I was going to college or landing a job. So I went into the military. Best thing I ever did, got straightened out, but more importantly, I learned respect and value. Now, unfortunately, I didn't learn enough that, it just changed my life and I became a millionaire. I actually had to work every day from the day I joined, and I went into the military at 17 years old. I worked every day from that day forward until I changed my beliefs. What's up here? What's up in your head? I had to change the way I looked at my agency, at the world, at success, at money. And those are the 3 secrets you're going to learn today. Those things are what changed me and I believe led me to having such success. Okay. The one thing that I had to fix, the first thing was I was falsely taught that a job equals security. If you've got a job, security. Now, kids these days know that that's not true, but me, I was raised in a different time where job equals security. So I've always felt like I had to have a job. Keep that in mind. So I spent 10 years as a corporate trainer. Actually, I have a background in training, by the way, hence why, I love doing these types of things. I actually stood up in front of a classroom each and every day and taught computer programming languages, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and, all the Adobe stuff. That was my job for 10 years, teaching people how to use programs. So I'm really good with software. I worked my way up, every little raise, did everything they asked me to do. I traveled every weekend. And then one day I just got hey, we're going to let you go. Pushed off the hamster wheel. Boom. Out of the blue. I felt like everything in my world had collapsed at that moment, right? And so I scrambled because job equals security, job equals security. So I scrambled and I got another job as quickly as possible. In fact, I was actually laid off while I was home recovering from a surgery. I had to have an emergency surgery and they laid me off. That's how much they cared. And so I went back to work 2 weeks before I should have, because I was so afraid I didn't have a job. I didn't know what else to do. So again, started all over again, worked my way up the corporate ladder this time. Okay, so was in a big Fortune 50 company, worked my way up, started off as a contractor doing web development. That's what I started as. By the time I was done, I had a 6-figure salary, 4 weeks of vacation, 10 sick days, holidays off, health insurance, the full benefits. And I had achieved the American dream, right? This is everything I could ever hope for. A D student, no college degree, working in corporate America, making 6 figures, and actually being, in a management role. Amazing. I couldn't have dreamed about anything more. So then I asked myself, why was I so freaking unhappy? Now, if you've been in corporate America, if you are in corporate America, put heck yeah in the chat. You know what it's like. You've been there, done that. Because I got to tell you, if you've never been there, it's like if you've ever watched the program Survivor, it's a lot like that, right? First of all, I spent 12 hours a week commuting back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I was underappreciated, overworked. There was so much backstabbing drama in corporate America. I mean, I couldn't begin to tell you, how horrible it was, right? Stress, reorgs, layoff, right? And Patrick's been there, a few times. Nobody else has been there? Patrick, are we alone on this call? There's got to be more people out here. Come on, guys, put it in the chat. Play with me. Be interactive. You're going to learn something today. Don't multitask. So anybody else been there? Corporate America, crazy times, right? Unhappy is the wrong word, guys. I felt miserable, defeated. Like everything in me was beat down, right? Yeah, thank you guys for getting in there. So got it, been there, done that my whole life. Yep, I've been there. Thank you guys. Thank you, Charles, Andrew. Yeah, play with me. Let's talk about this stuff, because if you've been there too, this stuff is insane, right? You go in there day after day and you hate your world. You start to hate your life. And one day I'm sitting at my desk. Yep, been there. Apart from a few years, I've always worked for myself. Good for you, Ted. Fitz, yep, me 3. Yeah, I had a horrific thought though. I'm sitting at my desk one day in my beautiful, I was a manager, so I got a window cubicle. And so I'm sitting in my beautiful cubicle by my window with a parking lot view. Woo, really worked my way up. And had this horrible thought that changed my life forever. I realized, and actually did the math in my head one day sitting there on a miserable day, that I would have to do this another 30 freaking years. Like 30 more years coming in here, banging my head against the wall. And I got to tell you, it changed me. It changed me to the core. I don't know what happened, but I hated everything. And from that day, I was always an exemplary employee. I was always the best, on top. That's why I got so many promotions when I didn't have the degrees. But that day, everything changed. I cannot do this for another 30 more years. And I became probably one of the worst employees after that. I was miserable. I hated going there. I was combative, because I just realized this is going to suck. And I would hate my life if this is what it was, right? The American dream sucked. But who quits a $140,000 a year job? That was what my job was worth with bonuses and benefits. $140,000 a year. Guys, that's not a little bit amount of money. That's a lot of money. Today, I still say that's a lot of money. But I suppose we had it all, right? So I wanted to quit my job, work for myself, and travel. I mean, it got into my head, and that's what I wanted to do. So I started doing the math. I would need $11,665 a month to quit my job. Been there? Anyone? You guys know what your number is to quit? Ever wanted to quit? In a job now, want to quit? Put me in the chat if you've been there. So I had another horrible thought. How the F was I going to make $12K a month? How the heck was I going to do that? That's a lot of money. I'd been working on the side, building websites, because, I trained all that stuff. So I had the knowledge. I would make extra money, but I never made that much money in a year, let alone in a month. And so again, that was a scary thought, but scarier. How was I going to convince my spouse that I was going to quit my job? That scared me even more because I knew I was going to get a resounding, oh, hell no. Because same thing, you know, we've been that high. Neither one of us have ever even thought we'd make that kind of money. And here I was going to come back and say, yeah, I'm going to quit this beautiful job. Yeah, Charles, been there, done that. Exactly. Interesting thing happened. I didn't have to ever tell her that I wanted to quit my job. I got a big kick in the ass from the universe. That's a picture of our RV site. We used to spend every weekend there, and I would love to say always enjoying boating, fishing. Well, most of the time I was working because my day job made me work overtime and weekends. And then I had the side job of trying to earn money because I wanted to quit that job. So I spent day and night working. And so I would sit at that picnic table. I would sit in a chair out there, but I would work all the time. But it was a change of scenery, I guess. So I had a campground. Well, a guy from across the street, been there a few months, older guy and his wife came over and said, hey, I want to talk to you ladies. I kind of want to, talk to you about something. And I said, okay, well, let's talk. He said, no, we're going to come over later for dinner because this is serious. I'm like, oh. I said, okay, well, we'll cook dinner. Come over. And I spent all day, Colette and I spent all day literally trying to figure out what we did wrong. Okay, we're playing our music too loud. Is our campsite neat? Maybe they just don't like that we're gay. I don't know what it is, but oh my God, we spent all day worrying. They came over for dinner. We get all through dinner. They're not saying anything. I'm like flipping out, big elephant in the room. And this is a true story. It gives me goosebumps every time I tell it. Finally, the fellow looked, at us, and we were sitting on one side, they were sitting on another. And he said, ladies, I want to have a serious talk with you because, you're young and you have everything. And all I do is see you sit here day after day after day working. And when you're not here, I see you in the adult center and you're sitting in there working. And occasionally you'll go out on your boat. I see you guys go out, but then you're back and you might have only spent 3 hours and then you're working again. And he asked us why. And we told him, we're trying to get out of our day job, stuff like that. And he said, well, I'm going to tell you something really quick. And he went on to tell us a story about how he spent his whole life working and saving and working and saving and working and saving because he needed to be a millionaire. So when he retired, he'd be a millionaire. And him and his wife saved up, I think it was a couple $1 million. So they're ready to retire. They both retire. A month after they retire, and I have a hard time because I know these people, a month after they retired, he got in a horrific accident, him and his wife. And she has never been able to walk without a walker after, I think, tens, or 20 surgeries. And he can't move any of his shoulders or neck, and they can't do anything. He's like, I got all this money and nothing to do with it because I can't do anything. Everything we were going to do, all gone like that. He said, ladies, don't do that. Don't do that. You're young now. Live now. Money is not important. Money is not everything. Living is important. It changed my world. And I'm sorry to go into such a long story, but I need you to know where my headspace was at to see what happened and how I figured this stuff out. I also want people who are in the same situation as I am, was in back then to get, it's going to change. There's something better coming. Okay. So the universe, kind of gave me that hint. Yeah, Rick, awful tragedy. And we still keep up with them. They're both still alive today. They've never traveled. They can't even travel in their camper anymore. They actually live in their camper on their kids' property, and that's their life. But it changed us. Something happened inside. I didn't have to tell Colette, hey, I want to quit my job, because after they left, we both got to talk, and it's like, we know how to do this. We know how to build websites. We need to open a business. And that's exactly what we did. So we formed our first company in October of 2011 after talking to these folks. Unfortunately, we were excited, but that excitement faded, and then the months passed. I don't know if you've been there. In October, from October to December, our business made a cool $1,500. Whew. Yeah, Patrick, it was in the middle of a downturn, by the way. 2011 was smack in the middle of a downturn, and we opened a business, kind of like where we are right now. And I'm going to get to that because I'm very excited about 2020 and 2021. I'm the opposite of most people. It's an amazing year, and 2021 is going to be awesome. Is it a smart move? Yes, it is. we were very excited, but all that passed, you get excited, you think, and then, then you have the job and then you're tired. And when you get home, you don't want to do anything. So months passed. Now we're into 2012. I think it's February, March, 2012. We haven't made any money. The universe comes back again. And guys, I believe in, signs, and the universe kind of gave us a not so gentle reminder. Remember, you wanted to quit your jobs, right? Colette came home from work one day, and that's my wife, if you don't know. So Colette comes home from work one day, pissed, I mean, mad, and says to me, we have to cancel our vacation. Now, after talking to this couple, we went out and we booked a Mediterranean vacation, a 19-day Mediterranean vacation, because we were going to start living, right? Her boss said, you can't go. Sorry. I'm not approving that vacation that I had already pre-approved. Now, we had put money down on the trip, et cetera, et cetera. And so she doesn't say anything. She comes home. She's pissed off. She's like, we're going to have to cancel. I'm like, oh, no, we're not. It was the fire we needed at the time. And so we said, look, we just got to, our vacation's not till October. It's like February, March, somewhere in there. We just got to kick it. We just got to get it into full gear. We can do this. We can do this business, right? Let's just do this business and then you can quit your job. So that was our plan. Well, thank you, jerk boss. Thank you for being an ass, because in June of 2012, my wife quit her job and never has had a job since. She quit her job. She couldn't even wait till October. First, because there was no way she could stay there once she had committed to leaving. And second, we started making more money because we were committed and we didn't need that job anymore. So she was able to quit by June of 2012 and focus solely on our business. Now, I kept my job for the moment, but we did go on that Mediterranean cruise, right? That's me and Colette in Greece on one of the Greek islands. And we did go on that. Can't build a tiny house and live it online. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. There's my first office, guys. We call that the first. We snapped that picture of the cruise ship coming into port to pick us up. That's our first office because we had a great time. We did so many things, but we also spent some of our downtime actually planning out what we were going to do when we got back, and we did just that. And so things began to take off, and the story is going somewhere. I need you guys to get here because these secrets kind of play into this. I started earning more money. I actually stumbled on our first secret during this time, and it was learning how to create get in the door methods, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So I started speaking at teaching events. I was at the local marketing summit 2013, Rockstars 2014. So if you've been around a while, you see me speak somewhere. I usually speak about getting the door and sales because that's what I really figured out quickly, and the first thing I figured out. And so that's me meeting Kevin Wilkie. He was kind of one of my mentors, and the fact that I bought his course and he helped me learn what recurring income was. I didn't know. I was just building websites, and then he mentioned this little thing called SEO I knew nothing about. And in 2012, I started learning SEO because of him. So getting to meet him was a big deal. But then I started struggling because I couldn't do everything, right? How the heck was I going to do it all, right? And if you're there now, heck yeah, in the chat, man, you can't do it all, right? My false beliefs were holding me back. I was too afraid to hire people. I was too afraid to spend money because this company thing was going to go away, right? Everyone told me, no, it's not safe. Get a job. Having your own company, it's just not stable. Get a job. If you have your own company, you don't have benefits, get a job. So I was still scared. So I wasn't spending money. I wasn't investing. Unfortunately, I also wasn't saving that money. So had my full-time job still making 140K. We started making more money. Oh, and I started spending all that money and not reinvesting in my company or putting it in the bank. So that's a whole nother issue. Kevin's a great guy. I went to my very first marketing event in Atlanta about 9 years ago. He is awesome. He is awesome. All right. So it took me 8 years to put all the pieces together. I discovered the hard way. You guys are going to get to take a shortcut. I needed you to hear all that because you're going to see that I struggled to learn everything I've learned, right? This is not point, click, easy, push button. People say, oh, I can solve all your problems. That's not what I'm about. I'm about if you'll commit, put in the work, we can change your life, right? And I've done it for many people now. I give you the shortcut, but you still have to put in the work. So here's the hard way of doing it. What I did, what most of you guys might have done, what a lot of people will continue to do. We start a business based on our skills, website design, SEO, etc. We offer only products that we know how to do. And then we struggle to find enough clients to buy the stuff we do. We do all the work ourselves. This is me, by the way. So if it's you, don't feel guilty. It's me too. This is what I did. I don't hire help. Then I spend my money on training and systems that are supposedly fix all my problems, and they don't, and I still have problems. But normally it wasn't because of the systems or the training. It was because I didn't believe in myself or I didn't do the work, right? I use all my profits to pay myself less than I'm worth, but I don't reinvest it in my company. I struggle to scale my business. I spend less and less time with my family, becoming meaner and meaner and not nice to be around because I get frustrated and feel like I have a job again. This is what happened to me, right? So if you met me back in, 2013, 2014, I had such a great outlook, and then it changed because I started getting bogged down with business. Yeah, Ted, you just described me. Yeah, it's a lot of us. The guys, the gurus that get on here and start talking about, it's just easy and it's just this, and you just do this and you just do that. It's because they don't actually have an agency. They haven't actually put into work to build an agency. They sell software, they sell programs. They don't have an agency. And that's a big difference. I was learning from people who didn't do what I was doing day to day. They might have done it a little bit, then they went into training. I still have a huge agency with 24 contractors. So I'm in this, right? So I'm still doing this. But it did turn out well. And thankfully, I learned 3 secrets. It changed my business, our business, and it changed our lives forever. So if you're ready to learn this stuff, I need a yes, I am in the chat. Yes, yes, why, whatever you want to put. I'm going to tell you 3 secrets in about 20 minutes that, I'm going to get through with this training. Yeah, good. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Guys, this is actionable stuff. You can leave here today and put this stuff into motion. So secret number 1, stop selling. What? Crazy, Lisa. What do you mean stop selling? Stop selling. Instead, I want you to start not thinking about lead generation as sales, right? Because we all hate selling. We definitely don't like cold calling. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So I want you to put your sales on autopilot using automated sales funnels and irresistible get in the door offers. Now, I'm not talking about buying software. I'm not talking about some gamey system I'm going to pitch you at the end. There's none of that. This is just super simple stuff that I've done since 2012, and I still do today, that I get all the leads I want. And that's been secret number 1 to my business. I get all the leads I want without trying. But the leads are different. They call me asking me for my products or services, right? They call me. It's an incoming call. And the services I sell to get them in the door are really small. Little things like logo design or print marketing. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. Why? Because I don't care how many flyers you send out saying, let me help you with your SEO. It's crickets. Nobody calls you. They don't trust you. And they've got 1,000 of those already. So I get in the door with small services. I earn their trust. And then I start upselling them. This number 1 secret has made me millions of dollars. And so that's what we're going to talk about that for a little while. And then we're going to go on to secret number 2. So why do we do it? Well, cold calling sucks. If you like cold calling, put yes in the chat. You're probably the only person that would ever said yes. I haven't gotten a yes yet. Nobody likes picking up the phone. Yeah, more like a toe in the door. If you can even get the toe not, slammed off. Cold calling makes me pretty queasy. I don't like it. It makes my stomach upset. And even if I can get a call in, the gatekeeper never lets me talk to who I need to talk to. It's just a big waste of time. It's the same with Chamber of Commerce meetings. I don't particularly care for them because to me, they're a big waste of time. So I need to create methods that attract my ideal customers, right? That they would call me. Because I hated that outbound calling. I had really a mental block with that. I couldn't do it. And I actually got them to call me. How much is that product that is number 1? How much is that product that is number 1, Patrick? I don't understand the question. Don't understand the question. Clarify maybe? Price. Yeah, so I'll be honest with you. If you can send out, if your first offer is low price, and we're going to talk about that in a second. If it's low price, it's a no-brainer. People will say yes. People will call you. Remember, we just need to get them in the door, a foot in the door, right? And I'm going to show you all that. So fear not, I'm going to show you all that, right? But the main thing here is what you're trying to learn is we're trying to create methods where people call us. They call us, right? I don't want to waste my time outgoing. And no, I charge for the services I sell them. They're not free services. You can do free services, but I charge, and I'll tell you why. I don't want to pay to prospect. I want to get paid to prospect. Tim, I'll get into all that. You guys are asking good questions. How much for logos? We'll talk about all that. So let me get to it. So $1 million idea. This was $1 million idea because it made me $1 million bucks, right? So I created this irresistible get in the door offer. It was a print offer, okay? And it basically said, you know, welcome, congratulations on your new business, et cetera, et cetera. And then in there, you know, I told them that we were a local company and, you know, we knew what it was like to have, you know, a startup company, blah, blah, blah. And then we had 3 offers. And this was the original letter. I did business cards for super cheap. I don't remember what it was. I know right now our offer is $17 for 1,000 with design. And then I did logo design, I want to say for $175 or $150 or something like that. That was my offer. And I would, you know, put that on there. And then on the same offer, I would have websites. I tried everything from $7.95 to $12.95, but they were cheap. Now, since then, I don't offer the websites anymore like that because I'm established. I don't need to. But in the beginning, I needed the business. I needed the portfolio. So month 1, we sent 400 letters out, right? Nada, nothing, crickets. Now, remember, if I burn my boats and I can't go backwards, right? I got to send these out another month. Had I quit after month 1, nothing would happen. Month 2, I got a few calls, sold a little bit. I think we sold a logo and a couple business cards. Okay. Now I know these people, I can keep working with them. So I have customers, you know, I had some customers. Month 3, a few more calls, a few more customers. I broke even on all 4 months of the marketing I was going to do. So I felt like at this point, I broke even and I have 6 or 7 or whatever it was, new customers that now I could, you know, market to. So it was not a bust. Month 4, boom, landed a client, my first ever SEO client that was worth something, right? I had done some for friends and family and something like that. But at the end of the day, client was worth $15,000, okay? 15,000 bucks. And for me, that was a big deal. And so as you can tell, I just kept doing it. Had I quit after month 1, month 2, month 3, I would have said, this doesn't work. It just doesn't work. But I didn't. I kept with it and it did work. And it worked so well that here we are in 2020, about to go in 2021. Guess what I'm doing in January? I'm doing a workshop and hopefully you guys will be there. I'm doing a workshop where I show everyone how to do this method. And then I show 2 other methods I've never shown before. Why? Getting people in the door. And again, this is a mailer we sent out and it did require print or logo or website design was the service. You could put any offer out and you don't have to mail a letter. The point is here, you're creating an irresistible offer. It's a low cost, low ticket offer because you're earning their trust, right? That's why it worked. Low cost equal low work, low risk. It no longer feels like selling because they're calling me, right? They're calling me. I don't have to sell anymore. They just ask me about the product and service. I start talking to them. It just felt more natural, And we started selling like crazy, okay? Another method, and I'm just showing you, I think we have 10 or 12 methods now that we personally use. And we don't use them all the time, but you know, we use them during the slow pockets of the year. This get in the door method is the one that, you know, a lot of people like to brag on, or they put in their letters because they know I did this. I actually designed a $5 postcard for somebody on a reputable site I'm not supposed to mention. And back then it was a new site. And so I signed up and I got a profile and I actually was doing postcards for $5. Like I designed them for $5. I would do it at night while I was watching American Idol. Again, I was hungry. I was committed. I didn't care what it took to build my business. I wanted it out of my job. So one $5 postcard turned into a client that went on to spend $450,000 with us over the lifetime. And they're still with us today. So that number keeps going up every year. $5 postcard turned into almost $500,000. Okay. Why? It was a no-brainer. $5. They trusted me. They saw I was in the US. I delivered on that $5. I talked to them, had amazing service, amazing value, you know, went out of my way for $5. They didn't care about the money. They just didn't know where else to go. And over time, I took them off that service. I contacted them directly. Why did I pick postcards? Think about it. Postcards have their contact address. I needed something where I can contact them outside of that website. So you got to think outside the box sometimes. So that's one of our methods. We're not going to be, that one is actually, you get that one if you join our program, but it's not one we're going to be doing in the free workshop. Okay, that method, again, another method resulted in over $1 million in revenue to date, right? That one I just don't do much anymore because I have stuff that works better, and you know, it's still open, but I just don't do a whole lot of it. But it works. If you open it today, it would work. We've got several of these low-cost money-making get in the door strategies. All of them work the same way. And here's what you want to write down or screenshot this. Number one, create the irresistible offer. It's got to be irresistible, right? $17 business cards with design. You pay shipping and tax. That's my offer to them. Okay. I break even on that deal. I break even, but I'm not being paid, or I'm not paying to prospect. I'm being paid to prospect, right? I don't have to pay someone money. Someone's giving me money and it covers my costs, and that's all I care about. So I create that irresistible offer. Then I build some kind of sales funnel. In the beginning, it was phone call. They would call me. That's it. Now we've kind of built ourselves up a little more elaborate. Generate traffic. You got to have people see that. Send out mailers, send out emails, whatever it is. You got to get people to that irresistible offer. Step number 4, the most important. You have to deliver extreme value. You have to, because this is how they will go on to buy, you know, logos and websites and SEO and funnels and conversion and, you know, AdWords or whatever you sell. This is, you get them in the door like this. These are brand new companies. And most people think, oh, they don't have any money. Oh, a lot of them have money. I learned that. A lot of them have money. And when you bring them on like this, they won't go anywhere else. They're very loyal customers, right? You have to follow up with them. This is going to be one of the other secrets where I really lacked for a while. And then step number 6, automate everything. Now, you have to get everything going before you can worry about automate. I wouldn't try to do everything at once. Just get in there and get going, and you can, you know, get all the 6 steps squared away over time. Now, guys, this is work for everyone. So web designer, I was a web designer, graphic designer, SEO type. So that's me. It worked for me. I've got friends who are writers, copywriters, bloggers. I shared with them. They did it, work for them. Got friends who are photographers, videographers, you know, in our circles, I would share with them. They do it, work for them. But the cool thing is, even though it works for all those people, it works for brick and mortar. It works for your customers. So think about this a minute. Your customer comes to you and they want SEO. You look up, the keywords suck. You know that nobody's going to search for that business, whatever it might be, right? That doesn't mean they're dead in the water. What if you said, hey, people don't find you that way. But if we did mailers, and here's an interesting example. We had a septic system pumping company customer. Yeah, we built their website. And then they said, oh, how can you market us? We just really want to build our business. Nobody's looking that up. I promise you, nobody's looking that up. Or if they do, it's just not a lot. So SEO wasn't an answer. So we came up with a postcard campaign, same type of idea. And what we did is every time somebody would move from a house, we identified houses that were in rural areas that had septic systems. We got lists, and we got like a new mover list, and we would send to those people, or we'd send to people who had, septic systems, and they would send offers like, happy with your septic system? Most people will never even get contacted. They'll use the same company for 20 years because they don't know any better. So if they got a letter that said you could do it better, or, we do a 30-point inspection, unlike anyone in the business, however you do that letter, again, you're helping your customers with the same method you helped yourself with. Guys, this stuff works for you and your customers. And we've used this to, take somebody from a website that never really fit an SEO profile. Well, now we're making a monthly, $300 to $800 for just printing postcards for them or something like that. So it attracts just about everyone, right? So you see them all here: lawyers, financial planners, doctors. We've had hunting ranches, maid services, just crazy amounts of people we've been able to get in the door with these low cost, no cost offers, right? Many of these people have turned into high value clients. So for example, we had a dentist came to us, we did a postcard, designed the postcard, printed it for $143, right? I think we did 1,000. That wasn't even really a crazy irresistible. That was a little less than, what Vistaprint and other people were doing, but it was less. And then we created a website for that client and eventually upsold them SEO. And they have spent over $38,600 to date. So whenever the last time I, looked, that's what they had spent. Chiropractor, same thing. We created business cards for them. Now insert whatever you want here. It doesn't have to be print. It doesn't have to be business cards or logos. It could be many things. Like I said, we have 10 12 methods we use, right? And this customer pays us cash every single year at tax time. Their bill is in like April. And that's an amazing thing for me because I'm an S Corp. So I pay my taxes in March. So by March, I'm pretty cash poor. And so this guy pays me in cash every year. He's been doing it for 7 years. And he brought on a friend, another Chiro, that does the same thing. So right around tax time. So this fella has brought in right around 60,000. He's almost due. He's in the 7th year. So we're about to get another 10-8 from him in February or March, somewhere in there. So big guys. Yes, it works with big guys. Law firm, right? Referred to us by a print customer. The print customer did nothing more than print with us, yet referred us this law firm who went on to spend $400,000 to date with us. And finally, a dental marketing, grabbed him with a business card. Now I do a lot of print. That's my shtick. It doesn't have to be yours. Gets him in the door, right? And if you're thinking, well, I can't do that, I don't know how, hang in there. Yes, you can. I have ways where you can do it. You don't have to know how to do any of this. And it's not software either, by the way. 450K with a dental marketing company. Now I'm not showing this to you guys to brag, to do anything else, but to say it's those little bitty offers where I earn that trust with them is what I built the cornerstone of my agency on. Those are the customers I go after. Now, we're so well SEO now. Yes, we get people who call us and say, do you do SEO? And of course, we'll sell those people. But we don't get that many calls for SEO. We get them for website design or we get them for other things. And that's how we've built this non-steady amount of leads. And I can pick and choose the jobs I want and turn down what I want. I'm finding the customers I think would mature into websites and SEO so I can get that profit margin. Now, these get in the door methods launched my business. Those 2 methods were the first 2 methods I figured out that launched my business. Those 2 methods alone made me 7 figures, right? Here's what happened. We're going on to secret number 2. They worked so well and we got so busy and I was still doing all the work. We struggled to keep up. And if you're there, you know what I'm talking about, right? I was still doing all the work. I was still the missing piece to the puzzle, right? I wasn't hiring. We're bringing in money by then. I still have my job at this point and I'm working the side hustle and the side hustle is making us, at this point, probably 6 figures. And so here we're making all this money and I still wouldn't do anything. So secret number 2. Let's see. Rick says, I make $350 per month for postcard camp for client, just reordering and delivering to another route. Yes. Print can be an amazingly passive lead gen, but then it becomes a passive reorder. I have a dentist who reorders twice a year, a bunch of postcards. That's all I do, just twice a year, a bunch of postcards. Between the 2 orders, I make something like $3,600 of profit. And I literally hit a reorder button in my system. Like, doop. I love that money. We have plenty like that. So print can also lead to a nice everlasting recurring income as well. But this is not about print. This is about your agency. So we'll leave that for another day. Okay, keep talking to me. I love hearing you guys talk. The business is you where it should be, the business. I don't know what you mean by that, but I couldn't keep working in my business, right? Secret number 2 is to become what we call the CXO, X standing for whatever you want in life, right? Some people say that's the chief experience officer. Okay, if that's what you want to make it. For me, X stands for whatever I want in life. So chief money officer, chief I want more time to myself officer, whatever it is, your job is to do the things that it takes to get you where you want to go. What does that mean? Secret number 2, you have to stop doing the work. You are not your business, okay? You are not your business. You have to focus on your business, scaling it, putting the right people in place, figuring out the right stuff. And that's a scary thing for a lot of people. A lot of people are like, no, I don't want employees. You don't have to have employees. You don't have to have contractors to be the CXO. You could outsource all your work if you wanted to. There are really good outsourcers out there. You need to stop doing the work and become the CXO. Why? Well, you can avoid the 4.5 years of craziness I went through. I literally spent, I don't know how many hours in the day, 24. Oh, I'd probably spend 16 to 18 hours a day working at one point in my business. Like that's all I did, work, day, night, weekends, because that's what it took to do everything. Yeah, exactly, Ted. The business should be able to work without you. Yes, I'm there today and it's a beautiful thing, But back then I was not there and I was struggling. Why? Again, ingrained beliefs, right? My business at this point in our story was making $235,000. I was still working a day job. So the year I'm talking about, 2014, my business is making $235,000 a year. I'm still working a day job. Would you have quit your job? Yes or no in the chat. Would you have quit your job? Remember, job equals security. In my mind, I was taught so thoroughly that job equals security. I was my own problem. I could not let go of that security. I was so afraid. Yeah. And by the way, anytime I've ever asked anybody that, there's a more of a majority of people said, yeah, I would have quit my job than there are that people say no, but there's still people who say no because they're where I was at. Thank goodness for you guys that are saying yes, because yeah, I should have quit my job I probably should have quit it in 2013 because I know we were making, six figures. I want to say before 2013, but 2013, sure. Well, I didn't have to worry about that because that decision was made for me in 2014. Again, without any notice, after 10 years of service, which seems to be about as long as I stick with a company because they laid me off, I was laid off. I got a phone call. It was supposed to be my weekly phone call with my manager. I didn't think anything of it. And it was just like, okay, I'm so sorry to tell you, your position has been eliminated. I need you to shut your computer. Don't log on because your system's been shut down. We're going to send you a box. You're going to put that in it and have a nice life. And by the way, you can't talk to anyone or you forfeit your severance package. So yeah, great. I don't know about you, but even though my company's making, right? Now, let's think about how strong my core beliefs are. My business was bringing in over $235,000 a year. I literally sat there and cried. I was upset. And I actually still considered getting another job. That's how strong my core beliefs were, that job equals security. I'm only saying this because you might have your own, hangups or false beliefs that are holding you back. You got to figure out what those are. In our program, we spend the first 2 weeks figuring that stuff out so you can move forward. Does that mean you're going to lay yourself off? Ted, don't say that. Horrible. Yeah, I'm coming up on a 10-year anniversary, right? Next year. So no way. My boats are burned. And frankly, I've set fire to the ocean. You're not even coming near my island. So no, not going to lay myself off. Okay. I had 9 months of severance package, so I didn't actually go out and get a job. Yay. But here I am, 2016, now 2 years without a job, right? Or year and a half, whatever it was. Again, I'm struggling to keep my sanity. So I now don't have to work the 8 hours a day, 40 hours to 60 hours a week with this job. I can put it all into this business. Why the heck am I struggling to keep up? Well, because we're killing it. We're bringing in more and more and more business because I'm focusing on bringing in business, but I'm still doing all the work. I'm not the CXO of my company. And that's when the universe gave me yet another subtle push. That's why these stories are important. I hope you see that you're probably way better off than I was. I am not the smartest person. I mean, I just literally stay in bad situations too long. So I actually fell into getting a business coach because I had, got a free session with one, and that's how it started. And during that free session, he looked at everything going on. He asked me a bunch of questions. And at the end, he just said, Lisa, you need to work with me, but you need to be the leader, not a worker. And something to the effect of, otherwise you just have another job and the business owns you. That's the day I became the CXO of my company. And everything changed for me. I was so embarrassed. I had this professional telling me that I was a horrible business owner. Like, it was horrible. Well, why was it horrible? I didn't know the first thing about business. That's why. I'd always worked a job. But I had false beliefs. No one could do the job I would do. Couldn't afford to hire anyone. Don't have enough work to give someone. Managing people takes my time away. Hiring people cuts into my profits. Me, I was the problem. I had to believe and become the leader and invest in this company, right? I had cars. I had car payments. Had no problem making a car payment, but would I have gotten a business loan to hire someone? Back then, no. Now I would sell a car if I had to get someone to work because I am not working in my business. So you have to change that mindset. And that's really what this particular secret's all about. And I know we're going through this stuff fairly fast because we only have an hour, so we can't really get into great detail, right? Step one, stop doing the daily work. Stop it. You have to figure out how. Step two, hire and outsource tasks and jobs, especially the jobs that are taking up the most of your time. Get rid of those. For me back then, it was web development, creating the websites, because I did them myself. Remember, I was the programmer, and SEO. Those two positions I had to find someone to do a lot of the work for me. Create processes for every single thing you do, because those processes make it easier for you to train and keep people. Step number 4, now you only work on revenue drivers. So if you free up 10 different, 10 hours for yourself, you have to take those 10 hours and you have to focus on doing CXO work, right? Number 3 to me is the key. Yeah, number 3, creating processes for everything is good, but if you have no one to actually implement the processes, you still need to stop doing the work and hire other people. But yeah, for sure, you have to have processes and you have to train your people, right? You can't, I made the mistake of a couple people, I just set them loose because they told me a skill and it didn't go well. I didn't have processes. So, there's a lot of that. Now I'm going to allude to this because, I just need to say it. We have a program where we show you all of this and more, but we don't do it for you. There's no software to buy, okay? Because that's not what we do. We show you what to do and you go and do it, and you do it in the 12-week program. Now, just so you know, when I became the leader of my company and stopped working a job in my company, right? Things turned around quickly. Things turn around quickly. The reason why I wanted, if you remember, to get out of my job is I wanted the freedom to travel. I wanted freedom, right? Instead, I ended up having another job and we didn't do anything. Forget travel. We didn't even have fun. I had to become the CXO to have that freedom lifestyle. And I'm going to show you something. It's not to brag. It's just to illustrate what a freedom lifestyle looks like. This is 2019. 2020 is different. I'll tell you, we're still doing a bunch of stuff, but I'm doing it at my own properties and in my own safe space. But in 2019, I spent 6 weeks in Destin, Florida at a rental house on the beach. I spent 2 weeks in West Palm Beach, Florida. One of those weeks was super important because it was right before my dad passed away and I spent a week with my dad. The other week was actually taking care of his affairs. If I had a job, I'm not so sure I could have done those things. Or if I had a business that owned me, I don't think I could have done those things. I spent 5 weeks at Disney World in Orlando, one of my favorite places. Notice a picture of me and Colette at Disney at Christmas time in 2019. This is us in Destin having some beers. If you've been down to Destin, that's at Pompano Joe's. We also spent a week at Disneyland in Anaheim, California, going to SEO Rockstars, but I actually went out there 4 days early and had a good time before the convention started. I spent a week in Green Bay watching a Green Bay game. I went to countless other events. And then most weekends at the lake, I actually enjoyed the lake. I went out on my boat and I relaxed and I sat by fires. I wasn't on my computer working all the time. That's the difference of, are you the CXO or not the CXO? So before, had someone showed me a picture, it's kind of like, you think about Scrooge this time of year, right? If I could have had the ghost of Christmas, future and past come to me and show me some stuff, man, I would have done this way sooner, way sooner. Okay, here's a guy who went through our program. His name is Colin. He's an amazing guy. He went through the first program, he exited his business, but then he came back and in September 2020, went through the program. Within 2 months, he had set goals for himself and he added an additional 20 grand cash in 2 months. And he added 7K of recurring income in 2 months. And he's like, he has set some crazy goals and he's hitting them. Remember, 7,000 per month is $84,000 a year, right? You can't look at it as just the 7,000 per month. You have to look at it a year, right? We land 2 or 3 clients that net us that amount. That's close to, what most people make in a year's salary. So why do I illustrate? Number 1, Colin has shown me all these figures. I know they're real. Number 2, Colin's just like us, right? He didn't come from money or anything else either. Rick, I love you if you're Disney people. I'm a Disney person. I own 2 Disney timeshares, which we can't use right now. Okay, remember, in order to become the CXO, you have to believe and let desires fill your mind, not false beliefs. And that's what I struggled with quite a bit. Now, one more secret. I know we're going a little long on time. I'll be quick on telling you guys about the program, but I was still missing a major piece, okay? So I had this lifestyle and it just felt like everything was going great. But when we added more customers, we needed more people. When we added more people, I seemed to need more customers. And there was just something wrong with this. It's like, it shouldn't be this way. It just felt like this business is going to get huge, but it's not like I have a ton of profit more than what I had. And I couldn't figure it out. So which brings us to secret number 3. Now, by all means, figure out secret number 1 and 2 before you move on to number 3, because you really need to figure out the first couple pieces. Here's secret number 3. I create what's called success stairways. And these are automated strategies, okay? They increase all of the money I make from one customer. So if a customer on average used to be worth 20 grand, I'm trying to get that customer to be worth 30 grand throughout the relationship. The lifetime value of my customer has to increase. That's why you start seeing all these loyalty programs, and in the marketing space, you see people constantly doing sales and doing this and doing that. They want to work the customers they already have. I wasn't doing that. And here's what happened. I had a customer I was on the phone with, and after talking to her about some Facebook stuff, she told me she would hire someone to do Facebook. And I was like, really? I mean, you should have came and talked to me. Why didn't you talk to me? Now, we don't do Facebook stuff, but I would have done it for her. And she said to me, Lisa, I had no idea you offered Facebook marketing, which I don't, but that's okay. She didn't know whether I did or didn't. You're amazing. But to be honest, you rarely, and this is the part that killed me, you rarely communicate with us or help us understand what else we could be doing to market ourselves. This is my big client that, I went from $5 to 450K, and they're telling me, yeah, you didn't do the work. Like, we went and spent our money elsewhere. They had money spent. They knew they needed to spend it. And I left it sitting right there on the table because I was not doing anything. I was so focused on more customers in the door, more customers in the door. These customers I ignored. The minute I changed this, that's when my business, so to go from 6 figures to 7, secrets number 1 and 2 will get you there all day long. To go any higher than that, like when you start making $1 million, you have got to, this secret's big, because if you don't, it becomes a large, very heavy entity. This lightens the load, right? You don't need as many people. You don't need as much stuff. And trying to find services that run themselves or do themselves or things like that, add-ons. Think about web design, for example. One of the add-ons I do is I install chat programs and I manage them for them. Well, guess what? I find deals where I can, make some money off that deal. $10, $20 a month, ching, ching, ching. I'm not doing anything for that money, going in my pocket. Hosting, website hosting, money going in my pocket. I had to learn these things. And when I learned these things, then it just seemed like I get more customers and I would make more money. My profit margins were higher and I needed less people. That's why we want to, really think about lifetime value of our customer. Now, let me show you an example. I stole this shamelessly, I should say, because he says to do it. But Russell Brunson had something in one of his books I read, and it was a value ladder. Ladders are rickety, don't like them. So I created what was called success stairways. They just seem more solid. And then I added a door, because you're going to come in the door with a get in the door strategy. From there, I'm going to traverse you up the ladder. So this is my get in the door strategy ladder for logo design. If they come in on a logo design job, then I'm going to offer them print material. When they're done with that, I'm going to offer them, hey, now that you're done, it looks like you might need a website. And when they have their website, okay, let's talk about SEO and marketing. I not only have all this done, I have it all automated now. And that's the key, right? Now, in the beginning, don't worry about automating it. Just get something in place to where that after you complete the logo, you're going to do these things. And we put it in our project manager software, even, to get a 5-star review. It stays there and lives there until someone does it, or at least asks for it. And then we check it off. Same thing. Did you ask them if they needed printing? If you didn't, it stays there until someone does. Now we've graduated automated systems that do this stuff. Let's see, same number of customers, but getting more money with the same amount of people. Yes, sir, Ted, it works all day long. And that's secret number 3. That's where you're going to really X your business. So 4 simple steps to follow, guys. Step number 1, you build the stairways for every single product you have. If they come in with print, we have a different stairway. If they come with a logo, different stairway. If they come in, this way, it's a different stairway. And then we automate each step of the stairway, right? Either using funnel software, using autoresponder software. And yeah, that stuff's a pain in the ass. I get it. It's sometimes you don't want to do all that stuff, right? It's just a pain. You don't have to do it. You're the CXO. You're going to get people to do the work. That's the key. That's why I want you to do them in order, right? I don't want you to start doing this stuff if, you haven't mastered the first 2 keys. Yeah. The people who join you take the elevator. Yeah. I love that, Ted. Yeah. I would say you take the elevator and it's crowded. And why? Because we do it together and we've got a big family. If when you see the Fast Track family, and we're just all crazy, we have a good time, but we're there to encourage each other. All right. After you automate the stairway, then you create your offers, present the offers to the customers, make sure you have all this in place. We have actually, I want to say, and it's somewhere on one of these slides, so I'm probably getting ahead of myself, but I think we add over $100 grand to our bottom line with our get in the door strategies. And then we add another 100 grand with some of these little trinket, like, you know, chat widgets or things that we can charge for that people are willing to pay for that really don't cost us time or, excuse me, any money. So they're beautiful things. And we're constantly looking for more and more of those. AppSumo and me are really good friends because I look for those lifetime deals on cheap stuff that I can resell. Why do you want these guys? They scale your business. Clear path to success. Don't need as many leads and customers, like Ted said. The value of each customer increases, and your customers become way more loyal. So, and this works for everyone. Again, I'm not going to reread you this slide. Why do we do it? I hated selling, right? Do you? Remember, all of this is built to quickly automate everything and have everything happen faster, right? Each stairway is designed to sell itself. That's the key. That's the key. Okay, before we created these, I needed 10 times more leads and customers to make the same amount of money. Our client acquisition costs were very high. And mind you, I get paid to prospect. So even if I was getting paid, I wasn't getting paid as much as I do now, if that makes sense. Customer LTV was massively lower. Customer interaction was critically lacking. Customers were more likely to leave us. And I was still having trouble being the only, the CXO, but I now can do that because I have all this stuff in place, which is nice. Now I focus on my business. It's a beautiful thing. So we finally had all the pieces to the puzzle, and I'm going to repeat it. Secret number 1, stop selling. Secret number 2, become the CXO, okay? Create those success stairways, and you're going to be well on your way, to really fixing things. And I accidentally turned off the chat. So let me get that back up there in case you guys have questions. Okay. How many guys here think this is awesome stuff? Do you see how these secrets can transform your business? I know I didn't give a ton of detail because it's a short hour, right? But I want to see, do you see that these things can help you? Can they, they help me, they've helped many other people, but you need to see that they can help you. We got, a couple of yeses, me. Well worth it. Okay, perfect. Now, if you'll stick with me, if you don't mind, I'd like your permission. I want to show you our program, okay? This is, if you're going to ever get in our program, today's the day to do it, because like I said, Patrick is gifting you, anytime someone does a webinar or presentation, typically they're offering the host some kind of, affiliate commission. And Patrick is giving you back affiliate commissions. So nobody else is doing that. So if, we had people sign up last week on another webinar, they didn't get this. So this is an amazing deal. So you guys okay if I spend another 15 minutes, 20 minutes telling you about the program? Yay? Yes? No? Or I can just go, Patrick? Yes? Okay. All right. Then let's do it. All right. I'll try to be quick. First things first. If I just modeled what worked for you, right? If I show you every get in the door method, I have how to stop selling and how to get customers. Do you think that just that one thing would help you get success? Just put yes or no in the chat. And I know some of you guys, it's getting late, right? It's getting late. If you're overseas, it's, it's definitely getting late. Yeah. So you guys can see how that'll help. Same thing. If I showed you step by step, and we're in a group setting, by the way, you're going to see that in a minute, how to actually stop doing the work. Like everyone says to do it. And that's where I struggled, right? I would go to courses, I would find stuff, and they would say, oh, you got to stop doing this. Okay, genius, how? So I have to model that for you. I have to show you how to stop doing the work. If I did that, do you think you'd have success? Yes, in the chat, right? I got lots of yeses, and sure, it would work. Yeah. Same thing. If I show you exactly how to create success stairways, right? I put everything on autopilot. I show you how to do that. Again, I don't have a system. I'm not about to sell you software or any of those they never work stuff. This is true. We show you how to do it. You implement it and it works. If I did that, do you think it could work for you guys? Yes or no in the chat. Remember guys, nothing I've told you today is really revolutionary. Most programs and courses simply fail to address everything we need for success, right? They give us a little here and a little there. Well, that's why I built this program, to be quite frank. This was missing in our space. And what was really missing is I have the specialized knowledge. Like I am one of us, right? Patrick can tell you, I am one of us. I'm not somebody who does this. Now, mind you, I have opened a training company because I'm a trainer and I love training and I want to do this, but this is the only program I'm going to actually, really have. It's It's all agency fast track. And one of the reasons I built this is because I want the synergy around me as well. And that's what we actually built. So I needed all this as well. All right, so I created a model. It's worked for me. It's worked for our founding fast track members that are going through the program. People are killing it. And I don't say that lightly, but it also works for customers. Everything we teach you, you can implement with your customers. That makes it even more powerful. So it's going to work for you. And you can go two ways. I can't go without having the slide where you drink from the fire hose, right? So you could go out, figure it all out on yourself, drink from the fire hose, try to do what I did. I wish there was a program like this, but honestly, I'm not sure if I would have recognized it. So if you're on the fence, I hope you're, better than I was back then, because I'm not sure I would have recognized what a good opportunity this was, because I thought I knew, what I needed, and I didn't. So either you go do it yourself or you join a team. And when I say team, guys, this is a team, like an encouraging, like the Skype group alone is worth it, because everyone's out there supporting each other, helping each other, giving each other tips, showing each other stuff, aside from all the training and materials you get. So let me tell you what we're going to do, right? I don't want you guys reinventing the wheel. I want you to, learn how I turn $1 into $2, right? So if I showed you, here's how you turn $1 into $2, you're going to go do that, right? Of course you would, right? If I show you, here's $1, go turn that into $5, you're going to do that. That's what I want you to get into the mentality of, right? I don't want you reinventing the wheel. And what I mean by that is I would go out there and I would buy something, and it probably would have worked had I actually done it or not changed it, right? So I would go buy something like, I don't like this, I'm going to do it this way. And then it didn't work, and I wondered why. So I don't want you reinventing the wheel here. We're going to show you what to do. And if you do it, it works. And I promise you, and it's not a point-click software. I mean, it's simple stuff, but you actually have to do it. So we created a program. It's called Agency Fast Track X Success. The X stands for whatever you want in your life. So whether it's money, time back with family, freedom to travel, get out of your job, that's what we focus on in the program. Every person has a very individualized experience, but we do it together in a very synergistic manner, okay? We get on calls together in a live interactive 12-week program. And they're just like this with Skype, except you'll see a bunch of boxes with faces because everyone's on. Now, we do ask people, raise your hand sometimes if there's a ton of people on, just to keep it, in order, or we have to just take turns. But you solve your problems. This is not a canned experience. While we have stuff we do, 12 weeks, the first of which we crush your ingrained beliefs. Trust me, this is what's been missing. I've taught this program for years now in a different way. And this year, because of COVID just really gave me a kick in the butt to make something different, because I was watching my friends struggle. And so the first beta version of this course were all my friends, right? I had all my friends come in and we went through the course together and we tweaked it and changed it. And that's what we figured out. We have to change the beliefs. We have to change the core. And when we do that, nothing holds people back. It's insane to watch. So it's really designed to fix your problems, but I don't want you to think in 12 weeks, everything will be just hunky-dory, right? Let's be frank here. We have to put into the work. Now, what happens after 12 weeks? We don't drop you. We actually have an alumni monthly call, a Zoom call where everyone gets on and we still answer questions, help people, and give them encouragement, because that's what I need. And therefore, I think that's what a lot of other people need. So, all right, let me just show you what you're going to get. 12-week immersive live program. This is live. I'm on twice a week with you live on Zoom calls. 24 interactive live sessions in Zoom, okay, where you come to change your business live. Meaning you do your own work. You can share if you want. You cannot share if you want. Some people share, stories and show what they're working on. Other people just sit and watch and listen. It's your experience. Nobody's going to, do anything other than encourage you in these sessions. This is what the program looks like. I'm not going to read this to you. All the materials are high quality. Everything's thought out. Again, I was, in the training industry for 20 years. I do know how to put together very effective training. I did it for corporate America, and I know how to do this. So what we're actually going to do is, notice you start week 1 with a whole bunch of baggage, problems, issues, things you need to get rid of. So we put you in a truck and say, hey, let's go down the road together. By the time you've graduated, the reason why you have a car there, and it's not a fancy car. Heck, I don't drive fancy cars. It's to show you that there's no trunk space for your baggage, and it's a fast car, right? You're getting on the fast track. This program is going to help you get your business moving quicker and faster, right? That's what it's designed for. You don't go watch videos and go do the work and figure it out, right? It doesn't work. That's why it took me 8 years to get there. That's the programs I bought. And it's why it took Terry and Colin 18 months the first time, because that's the first program I built. It was like, go watch these videos and go do it on your own. We really needed to do it together. And when we do it together, it happens in less time. It's really amazing. Okay, again, just so you can see them, here's what we cover: belief, commitment, we solve for X, success stairways, which, we build them out during that week, get in the door strategies. We also have other training we do separately for the get in the door, traffic flows, funnels. We teach you how to do funnels. We have a whole week on selling, a week on increasing the lifetime value. Wow Me is talking about outsourcing. So we do a whole week on outsourcing. And then we have the final 2 weeks, which is when you become the CXO, we have work around that, making sure that's all in place. And then finally, making sure you're ready for success. So 2 hours per week, that's all I need from you, 2 hours per week. In the big scheme of things, it's only 24 hours. So think about it as a day, but you can put in more time. There are people in the Skype group that'll have, I call it a pop-up Zoom, because somebody will need something and like, hey, who can jump in a pop-up Zoom, and they'll get in and noodle stuff. If I'm available, I jump in those too, and we talk about stuff. But if you don't have time for that, 2 hours a week is all we ask. Okay, after you go through the program, you're going to get rid of your baggage. You're going to get rid of your stress, your frustration, your worry. That's all the stuff I dealt with. Stress, frustration, and worry made me almost quit my business. I almost gave it up in 2016 and got another job. But thank goodness I burned my boats. So you're going to be able to get the creative, effective lead generation methods, get them to run on autopilot, bringing in those high value customers, solve your outsourcing stuff, really stop working crazy hours, build a success strategy, increase your revenue, gain momentum. This program is designed step by step, week by week to do all these things. Now, is it overwhelming? It really isn't, but you won't solve every single thing in 12 weeks. I promise you won't. Nobody has yet. If you want to be the first, great, but it's to get you on that path. And then monthly, we still get together so we can check in, answer questions, things like that. You also have access to me on Skype. Now, I want you guys to sit and think for a minute. Imagine your life 12 weeks from now, 12 months from now, 12 years from now, right? Where do you want to be? You have to do something today to make something happen tomorrow, right? So I know the program's going to save you time, money, put you on the fast track to success. It's up to you if you want to move forward in your business, right? And let me give you a couple more things before. I know we're running short on time, Patrick. So I want to cover a couple things. Like most people say, I can do this myself. No, you can't.
You're good.
Yeah, no, you can't. The reason why you can't do this yourself is you don't have, even if you had the tools, the process, and the resources, it's not enough. That whole section where we deal with the false beliefs and we deal with the commitment and just everything we do, the whole way we do it has proven to help people with that movement, right? We need a movement. We need a village, a tribe behind us. When that happens, amazing things happen. And that's what we've built. So what do we do each week? So for 12 weeks, we get together weekly. And before you come to the meetings, we have some power-ups. These are just self-paced 15-minute videos, 30-minute videos. Some of them are even 5-minute videos. We have a list of videos you can watch. The things in the power-ups, the things we suggest you watch, right? You should really watch those. Then we have weekly exits. These are just some exercises you do. A lot of them aren't very hard. It's not like you're spending hours doing homework, right? But they're helping you move forward to get things done, right? And then we do weekly power live sessions. These are 60 to 90-minute Zoom calls where we get together live twice a week and we dig in. This is where you get to ask questions and other people will add their input, and there are smart people, smarter people than me in our groups, and they interject. And then we have weekly fuel. These are the extra credits. So not required to do them, but they're extra if you really want to learn more, get some more out of the course, you can do that. So total time per week is 2 hours or less, but you can put more in if you want. If you move forward, you're going to get rid of all your baggage, right? Lead gen issues, time problems, staffing, fulfillment issues, excuses, stress, and worry. This is a tall order. Trust me, I know what I'm promising here, and you're going to see, I'm going to even give you a guarantee, at the end, because that's how much time we put 8 months into building this program to do it the right way this time. So we're going to get everything out of your way so we can create those success beliefs in your mind, right? Once I knew I could be a millionaire, everything changed, but I still needed so much more. But once I had all that, that's when it all happened for me. And it happened quickly. Like, you know, literally I started doubling year after year. I mean, it just happened quickly when you have the right things. We create accountability, right? Just today, I reached out to someone who said they were going to do something and I hadn't seen anything. So I was like, hey, did you get that done? Oh no. Well, it's not going to happen without, you know, you doing it. Thanks for the reminder. We do that. We create the accountability either through me or other people in the group. We have accountability partners. And we create success strategies, right? Make sure you have the right strategies for success. So you're going to get that. The value of it's $4,000. I put that on there after we went through the
Lisa, you have to unmute yourself.
There we go.
I just didn't want to, I didn't want you to talk about the price. I muted you.
You don't want me to talk about the price?
I'm just kidding.
What? Yeah. So the reason we put the value at 4,000 was because I am very humble, and everyone who went through the program, I asked them after to answer a survey, and we asked them how much, you know, if you knew that you had to put a bid on this and, you know, you had to put what you think it was worth and you didn't get in, if, you know, if you didn't get your bid, what would you put on it? Everyone's kind of saying that, you know, the program's easily worth $10,000, right? If they had to go back and put a price on it. Well, I'm not going to put that on here because frankly, I mean, I think it might be worth that, but that seemed too high to me. So I didn't pick this number lightly. I just want you to know that, right? I think this is very much, you know, worth $4,000, which you're not going to pay. Now, the program starts January 26th, but we're going to start pre-training on January 5th. So this group, like the group who goes through the January 26th training, is getting 3 weeks of free lead generation training that nobody else has ever gotten. Why? Well, because it's a long time until January 26th. And frankly, I have to start it on that date, but because I had some personal commitments where I couldn't start it earlier, but I can do the one session a week. So that's what we're going to do. So we officially start on the 26th, but you're going to get access immediately. And on the 5th, we're going to start actually all the training. Now, the bonus we added was a free 3-week live pre-training, Power into 2021. We were going to give it only if you signed up for the course, but I screwed up and promised somebody something and didn't have it. So we started telling everyone they can get into this. So Patrick will have a link that even if you don't sign up today for the program, you can get into this pre-training. However, you will not be grandfathered into the pricing we're going to have today with Patrick. So that's why we're doing it. 3 weeks lead gen. I'm going to show you 3 lead gen you can do. Get them ready. By the end of January, you've got stuff out there. You should start having stuff come back before you start the program, which is kind of cool. So you get that for free. We put a $300 value on that because we were going to charge $100 a week for people to get in it. Okay. I'm also going to give you 1 free strategy session with me during weeks 4 through 8 of the program. Why? Because you need the first 4 weeks before you're ready for that strategy session. This isn't a you get to know me, I get to know you kind of session. We can do that over coffee next time, you know, we meet live somewhere at some event. This is I want to know about your business quickly so we can sit down and strategize how to get you past wherever you are, how to get you going, right? This is a full coaching. Look, I'm here to figure it out with you and give you ideas and give you encouragement and really put together a plan so you succeed. That's what this session is. I say it's 60 minutes. They've been running long. I'll just say that. I don't want to set your expectations, so I won't tell you how long, but they've been running long. We'll stay on as long as it takes to get what you need. Okay?
Hey, Lisa, can I ask you a question to interrupt you?
Yeah.
What do you do to help yourself be better with mentors that you pay to teach you?
Honestly, taking advantage of every, like I signed up for a program, a high dollar program at the beginning, right when COVID started, because I knew I'd have more time. And I was offered like some coaching, right? And so part of the program was if I gave, I think it was $2,000, I got extra coaching, I bought that, right? But what I do is before I get to that session, I make sure I have questions and I have, like, I make the most out of that time with that mentor, right? So the same thing I would say that, like in this program, you have the ability for 60 to 90 minutes twice a week to be in with me and other, like Colin actually signed up to go through a 3rd time. He's going through January 26th. He's like, I just keep getting more out of this. And so he's going through again. You'll see him in these sessions. He He is picking my brain. He's picking other people's brains. He's getting everything he can. So I think, Patrick, to answer your question, it's taking this seriously, right? Investing in your business, both in money and time. You can pay money, right? We can always make more money. You can't make more time. So making the most out of those sessions, show up to every session, be involved in the sessions, do your work ahead of time, knowing you might have questions. That to me is more important. I do that when I have mentors or I sign up for anything, right? My time is valuable. I'm not going to waste it.
And Ted's asking, was that $2,000 worth it?
Yeah. And then some, right? $2,000 got me 6 sessions, which was cheap with these people, but it was because I already had bought into something else that was even higher dollar than that. It was worth every dollar and more. And I'm already inquired of, can we keep this going? What does it cost? Same thing. They gave me an inexpensive coaching program, knowing darn well they were going to deliver, and I'm hooked. Yeah, I'm going to give them, the 10K for the next version, but they helped me make money. And that's the key, right? Everything I'm focused on is your X. If money is your X, we want to focus on how do we make you more money. If time is your X, we want to focus on how to make you more time. That's the key.
Thank you.
Because that's valuable. Okay, so remember, you get this coaching session for free, right, with me. And I do actually charge $1,000 per hour to do this type of strategy session. This is actually looking into your business. This isn't just sitting around chatting. So, and I get that money from people. So it's not just a number I made up. That's what I actually charge people. All right, here are 3 people that went through the strategy sessions with me and then went on to do some private coaching. And all 3 of these people have been in the program in 2018. They came and went back through 2020. They are doing so well that all 3 of these people have signed up to go through, the 2021 January. I mean, to me, that I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying that shows you how valuable it is that people are coming back and re-signing up to go through again and again, right? Even, forget the money, the time commitment to do this again means it's worth it. Colin used his free coaching session, that first one he ever got, he used it to set 2 goals he wanted to achieve in 60 days. And I'm going to tease you a little bit. I'll tell you he crushed them, and I'm going to tell you in a minute what he did. So 12-week live programs worth $4,000. You get that. Free Power into 2021 live training we just added. That alone is going to be worth the price you're going to see, but I'll put it at $300. Free 60-minute strategy with me. I think that's worth it. I'm sorry, I got distracted by Ted. Yes, Ted, stop. No more JVZoo products. I actually have a couple of quotes from people that went through this program who basically said, I need nothing else ever. I'm buying nothing else. And I'm just going to keep in this program, because remember, you get lifetime access. After you finish the program, you have monthly calls, lifetime access at no cost. So they're just going to stay with this group, and we're going to keep building it. All right. I know I've got to give you the secrets though, too, right? I have to give you our secrets. So you're going to get a lifetime access to agency traffic secrets. And what I mean by that is every time we add a new secret, it's yours. Like you're not going to have to pay every time to get a secret, right? And we do sell them separately because each one of them are their own little mini course. So right now we have the Fiverr method, new business letters. Print Your Way in the Door is half done. We opened it live so people can see it, but it's not done. So you have these 2 you can start on right away. We will be having, I think by January 26th, we'll have 2 or 3 more in there. And then over 2021, we're going to add more and more and more. Now, if there's a method you see, or if there's something you hear about in the groups, people tend to talk about them. And sometimes we get in there and do that stuff as well. But we got a couple of super secret methods I've been playing with and working on that are working pretty good. And eventually you'll get those and all that good stuff. Now, these are separate in the program, like you log into them separate. They're like little mini courses. We show you each method step by step. This isn't cheap training. Okay. That's what I want you to understand. This is, good training. Now, you get distracted by these. So once the program starts, don't get distracted by these, go through the main program. But these are here and they're here for you for life, right? They're not going anywhere. But you get the instructions, step-by-step videos, scripts, letters, templates. If like that new business letter I talked about, you get that. Like you get the copy of the one I'm using today, and I give you a copy of the original one just for fun. You can use it if you want, but I've A/B split tested the heck out of the one I have now, and I'd use that one if I were you. But you get that. If we have templates, you get those. If there's scripts, you get those. Everything we have, you get, right? If I used it and it made me successful, you get it. Okay, these methods, remember, work because we buy from people we like and trust. Low-cost offers have little resistance. And once we get in the door, bam, that's when we upsell our other stuff, right? Some people, like, I make more with my websites than most people make with their entire agency. And that's a get in the door method for my SEO, if that makes sense, right? So websites are get in the door methods so I can sell SEO. And I make, I want to say, now I don't want to quote numbers because I have to be right, or, you know, I can get in trouble, but it's well over 6 figures on websites, and that's a get in the door, right? So that's why these methods work. So again, 12-week program, you get that. You get the free Power into 2021 live training, free 60-minute strategy session with me. Probably will go long, free agency traffic secrets. I try to be, you know, really good about the value I put on this stuff. I personally think this agency traffic secrets in time will be worth, you know, a mint, because it'll have so much stuff in it. And we're writing a book. That's where I goofed. I actually told some people I'd give them my book, and it wasn't out yet. So we have a book, you know, it's going to go along with this. So is that enough for you guys to achieve 100% success, right? I had to make you guys an irresistible offer. You guys think that's an irresistible offer? Yes, no? In the chat? Some of you guys, I know some of you guys, it's late if you're overseas. Sounds good? Yeah, yeah, okay. Well, I had to make this irresistible. I had to make this to where you guys are going to look today and say, I'm coming in. Why? Maybe you'll never do anything except this program. This will give you amazing success. Maybe you'll do other things with us, right? But I have to practice what I preach. So something you have to have, right? If I'm teaching you methods to get in the door with print, you know, 9 out of 10 people, if not more, don't know how to do print, don't know, you know, how to do that. So we're going to give that to you. We're going to give you what we call our agency power pack. Okay. And some of this will be good for you. Some of this you might say is, you know, higher price and you can do it yourself cheaper. Remember, the idea is to you stop doing everything. This solution is to help you stop doing everything. And then if you want to get your own people or your own contractors, you're making money over here. You're not doing the work anymore. So you're out here building that team. So then eventually you won't have to, you know, have us do it for you. That's what's behind this. I want you to really hear that. I don't want to be a white label agency. Patrick knows that about me. I have no desire to be a white label agency, but I know you need to stop doing the work in order to become the CXO. So to fast track that for you, I'm offering this to you. Use it, don't use it, totally up to you. Everybody today is going to get 10 free vouchers. And we have, you know, we have a place where you can go sign in to redeem these 10 free vouchers, 1,000 business cards for $15. Okay. Now the customer is going to have to pay the design, tax, and shipping, but I can show you how to get these designed for $5. $5. So for $20, you know, the customer can have that. And I would probably tell the, you know, if you want to charge them for design, I'd probably say $20 for 1,000 business cards, includes design, you pay tax and shipping. That's a great offer. Vistaprint doesn't do that because they don't design. People will take you up on this offer. We have tons of people take us up in this offer. But here's the killer part. When you turn in this voucher, you don't have to do anything unless, if you want us to do the design, we won't do it for $5, by the way. We can do the design for you if you want to charge them $25. We'll charge you $25 for the design. Only because I don't have the ability. We have our project manager do it, but we can show you how to do it elsewise. But you don't have to do anything, right? We take care of it. You order it, we get it done. Same thing, 5 vouchers for $35 for 500 postcards. Same offer. Remember, you can sell these, $600 profit for all these, $400 profit for all these. I suggest you don't make money on them. You use them as in the door offers, or the way we put this together, use the business cards as your in the door offer, and then buy these so you can do postcards if you don't want to do the letters, because letters are a lot more expensive to print, or print them off on your inkjet. But you can use these to actually send postcards to people with your offers or something like that. I'm going to show you why I suggest you use letters and put them in white envelopes, but that's in the training. it works like exponentially better is why. But so you get those, you get 5 free vouchers. We'll do logos for $150. Now, I know you guys are going to say, well, I can get a logo for $75, here, there, or other. Yep, you sure can. What you're getting with us is the logo fully done with our project manager, dealing with your customer, representing you. So you don't have to do anything. You don't even have to talk to the customer if you don't want to. We do it. That's why we priced it as such, because again, if you're still doing the work or you're still involved, it defeats the purpose. And that's why I made this offer. Same with the website. We'll do the first one for $1,500, the next 5 for $2,000. You should be selling these for $3,000 or more. We show you how to do that as well, right? We have a sales week. We talk to you about how you should sell. Again, you're using these as getting the door offers, right? Now, if you have a solution already that's cheaper or better, use that. Don't use that. If you actually turn these in, the potential profit is $8,750, right? Now, what happens, in this process, we take care of as much of it as you want us to do. And that's the key. So you don't need to hire anyone. You get out of doing the work so you can focus on getting more people in the door. Eventually, as we do show you and teach you how to get the people and start replacing this with your own people. Now, I've already had a couple people go through the course saying, yeah, I don't want to do that. I just want you to keep doing it. I'll have to increase the prices a little, but we agree to keep doing it with them. So we'll still be your white label agency. We'll still give you good, affordable rates, but we can't do it for those prices because those are actually at my cost. I make zero money on all those. So, and that's why they're priced the way they are. Okay, we do all the work. You get to be the hero, sell it for profit, or I say use it as irresistible offers. So you're going to get the 12-week live program, the 60-minute strategy session. It's missing that one bullet with the free. You get the free 3-week. Sorry about that. You get the agency power pack. So the whole thing right now is worth about $14,750. Some of these slides might not be right because that was a last-minute bonus we added, but it's a great deal. More importantly, I want you to focus on that program though, right? The trinkets, the extra stuff, you need them. It's that program that's going to help you really X your business. Now, if you say to me today, I don't have time. No, you don't have time to find customers worth $10,000, $20,000, $100,000. It's an excuse. And in the first 2 weeks of the program, we give you ways to get time back. And I'll show you this. We give you ways to get time back. Okay. Colin told me he had zero time. He wasn't actually going to go through the 2020 program in September. And I told him, dude, you need this. Like, you didn't do it last time. I mean, you kind of did it, but this is a new program. You need to go through it. He said, I don't have time. So I talked him into doing it. After one strategy session, he said, you know what? I agree. I'm going to become the CXO. So he set a goal. I'm going to make 10K in 60 days extra of what I already make. Like, I want to increase what I already make on average 10K. And I want to increase my recurring revenue by 5K in 60 days. And most importantly, I want to stop and find 2 hours a week. So 8 hours a month to get back to myself. He crushed it. Like, he couldn't have done it better, right? He doubled that goal and did it in 45 days. He eked out another 2,000 in 45 days. And instead of finding 2 hours a week, he has now got 4 extra hours a week, that he actually can spend on his business. This is why this happened. So let me say that again. When he eked out those 4 hours a week, he focused on the get in the door methods, and he quickly started getting more customers. Now, I haven't gotten an update from him to see if this has, gone up since, but that's an additional $104,000 a year that Colin now has after one strategy session going through this program. So I'm about to tell you what you're going to pay for this. And with Patrick's discount, it's stupid. It's really, really an insane price. This is without, Colin didn't try very hard, but what he did, and he'll tell you, is I did it. Like, I sat down, took the time, blocked out my time, did what Lisa showed me how to do, and it worked. And that's the key. So what if you don't have an agency yet? Even better, because you don't have the mistakes we have. You're coachable, right? You can follow some instruction. If you'll do what we show you, it's going to work for you. What if I only sell one service? We just gave you so many extra services you now can sell because we're giving them to you. You don't even have to know how to do them. We're doing them for you. Remember, our get in the door products net us over $100,000 a year. Just the get in the door products. We make money to bring in customers. Now, some actually cost us money. Some are free. But what we make, we basically get paid because those services actually make us money. And that's the key. What if I have no money? Well, all you need is the internet and a computer. You do have to invest in this program, I'll tell you that. But we even have free get in the door methods. So if you don't have cash, if you don't have a lot of money, to put in the get in door methods, we have paid ones, we have less expensive ones, and then we have free ones, right? Remember, I used to design postcards watching American Idol. If you want it bad enough, we have the ways for you to do it. We have the support, encouragement. We can make it happen. And that's what's key. Now, will it work for me? Yeah. If you'll do it, it will work for you. If you fail to act, like everything else, if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. So again, it's not an easy button. There's nothing here you can click and it just magically happens. But it's also not a lot of work either. This is not hours and hours and hours of work. It's 2 hours a week. That's it. And in the first 2 weeks, we find that 2 hours for you. I promise you. Okay, will it work for my service? Yes. Every niche, every service, every product, every business. It has worked for everything we've tried. And I've tried this in a bunch of places. So now I have to get to where I know you guys are, you're probably at the place I am usually at in these webinars, right? Like, shut up already and tell me what this costs. So let me do that. But first I must ask you, if all this program did was solve one thing for you, if it solved your lead gen problems, would it be worth it? I know it was for me when I figured out that secret. And these are the 3 secrets. If all it did was help you figure out how to get the work done without it being you doing the work, would it be worth it? And that's what this does. So I'm addressing these 3 secrets again. If it provides the roadmap to X your business, to scale it by increasing the lifetime value of every single customer, would it be worth it? Yes in the chat, no in the chat, whatever you think. So if all it did was one of those things, do you think it'd be worth it? Yeah, sure it would. Yeah. Yeah. Patrick, are you really in? Are you going in?
Oh,
You're going to do it?
Damn right.
I have some interesting people
right.
going to be in the group too. Dory Friend is actually going to be in the course.
Awesome.
She's actually signed up to be in the course because she said she needed more help with her business side of the house.
We all need somebody that
that's
is
amazing.
Smarter than we are and has gone through the process, built the buildings, what the strength of the mortar mix for the bricks and mortar so the building doesn't fall down to save us the time. We all need that. And you already proved that you're doing the same thing. As smart and as active as you are in putting these courses together, you're reaching out to other people smarter than you, or you think they are anyway, to help you grow your business, even though it is where it is, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Awesome.
we all
I'm glad
need
to have you.
that.
That's
And
exciting.
the biggest problem is there's a lot of people who claim to be able to solve that problem and who, have, lots of shiny objects to make it seem like they can solve that problem, but there really are only a few who can accomplish that goal, and you're one of them. And I know that.
Yeah. Oh, I appreciate that.
And
it's only because I care about my friends and I've always helped them, and that's how this has always come about. So, all right, let me finish this up. Let me get your price. Let me show you how you can get involved. So you have to understand I could price this 2 different ways, right? I had 2 choices to make, and I really did, and Ted, I'll address that too. Ted says they solve your problem until they take your money. And Ted, I'm about to tell you, I have an ironclad money back guarantee that if I don't do what I say, you get your money back. So, and it's not, oh, show me you've done the program. It's none of that. So, but you're right. I've been in many of those programs and that happens. This is not that program. I promise you that. So I had 2 choices, right? When I went to price this course, I struggled because I actually, like I told you, I hired some coaches, and even the coaches were telling me, oh man, you've got to, let's just do a low ticket offer. And I'm like, yeah, but this program, and look at all the work I'm gonna do. Like, no, don't sell this program, sell something else or do this. I'm like, look, this is the only program I want to do. So I could make a course, sell it to the masses, create those self-paced videos, little no interaction. I did that before. And frankly, it's good. And people were able to like kind of 2x their business or get over that 100,000 mark. I mean, they were having results, don't get me wrong, but they weren't doing what I was doing. And that's what I sold. So I felt bad and I didn't want to do that. So the second option was require a little bit higher investment. It's not crazy. And then build a high-end program that delivers on my promise. And this is my word. This is, my reputation. And I am an agency, and I've been at Rockstars. I got to face everyone, right? Whenever we get back from COVID,
Yeah, you
and,
do.
I'm seeing you at Rockstars or seeing you at spring training. I don't want everyone to be like, oh, that's that girl who took our money and lied. So I had to create a really valuable program, and that was going to ask for a little bit more money. So again, I'm just going to say that if this solved just one of your problems, only you know what that's worth to you. Only you know what you would pay to scale your business. I can tell you the students are telling me, the alumni are saying it's easily worth 10 grand. And many of them, have said even more. So again, and I'm missing that one bonus, but you will get that. What you're going to get, the 12-week live AFTX success program. Oh no, it's here. Power into 2021 live train. It's 3 weeks, get in the door methods. And by the way, this one, no matter what, you get to keep. This is in your, that's yours forever. If you ever exercise, you're going to see we have a 30-day money back. You don't get to keep some of this other stuff, but this one is yours to keep no matter what, right? Free 60-minute strategy session, free agency traffic secrets, free agency power pack. They're all put together in a way to make sure you have every single thing you need to succeed. And Ted said, no, I didn't mean you. No, Ted, I mean, you don't know me from Adam, right? So it was a fair statement. People take your money, they solve, every problem on the screen, but then after they take your money, they didn't solve your problem. I have been to courses, I have bought courses to where when, I gave the money, I was excited. And then I went to the course and I'm like, they didn't even have a PowerPoint. And they were like, so I've had that experience. I've had that bad experience. So it's no problem if you met me. You don't know me, but I will deliver on my promise. So you can see why it's a great deal. In 2021, we are actually going to price this at $39.97 later in 2021 when we get every single thing baked out. Like right now, we don't have all the traffic secrets, so we can't really charge that price. But when everything's baked out, the whole program's going to go for $39.97. If you think that's, me just blowing smoke, oh my God, went for, what did it go for, Patrick? Like 4,000, 6,000 and 10,000. Some of the programs, people paid it all day long because it worked. It delivered on the promise. Programs that deliver on the promise can get that money. In 2021, at our official launch, will be sometime in April, we're going to charge $19.97 for the program. Okay. Now, today, you're going to get it at a really good price.
Just put the sales page up with my discount and let's go.
There. You are going to get it for $9.97. And Patrick decided to give you $300. Why? I do not know. Patrick, you can explain yourself. That's very generous.
Well, it's very, very easy. Gary and I, with what we built from the very beginning, we don't want to sell products to have people buy products. We want to have people buy the products because they work. And we're willing to invest in not only you, but we're willing to invest in our members. And most of the people here are our members. And we do this all the time, right?
Yeah. And I am a member, so I do know.
Right. And so,
but that's a lot of money. And
I don't care. I would rather have everybody here do this and make very little than have one person do it and make more. It makes no sense to me on a dollar value scale that we should get as many people to accept and do this that they can because of who you are. And I know who you are, and I've been involved with you for years, and I know what you're offering is awesome. I just want to make it almost so stupid, ridiculously, insanely, undeniably, you better do it, or you can look in the mirror and call yourself stupid. That's it.
Well, and to be clear, this is not a setup. This is not anything like that. We did a webinar on Thursday, and if you would have went to that, it was $9.97. We did a webinar last Tuesday. It was $9.97. We're doing a webinar next week. It's $9.97. Patrick has given up his commission for you guys. And so that's the deal here. It's not that the other people aren't good people. It's just they chose not to do that, maybe for whatever the reason. So the one thing I don't want to have happen, Patrick, is, word gets out and then people think I'm a jerk because I let you do this. No one ever even asked me if I could do this until you did. And I did have to struggle with it because I was like, man, are they going to get pissed? Are other people going to get pissed? But at the end of the day, it's your money to give away, not mine.
Exactly.
So, that's the price, $6.97 today. There's no, extra credit. There's no, price, lower. But what I have to do just to make it easier, Patrick, I'm sorry I have to do this because our system's not set up to do it any other way. All the other people, we're also getting a fast action bonus. I have to give your people that too, no matter the price, because the system's set up that way. So you guys have two choices now. Either you're going to go in, and do nothing and leave the webinar and say, that's great. That's the first option. Or number two, take action today and in 12 short weeks be on the fast track to success. It's up to you. And Jan, Jan's asking, he got in last week on somebody else's webinar. He paid $9.97. Jan, I can't, it's Jan or Jan, but I can't do anything about that. This was Patrick last minute telling me he's going to give this money. I don't want him not to do it, but I also, I can't refund people from last week, or I can't get in that game with other people. That would be unfair. Right. So the only thing I can tell you is if you reach out to me on Skype, I will make it right in some way with you. If you're an RFR member only, like not everyone who, reached out to me, but if you bought before Patrick's, I'll do something for you, because it's only right that if you feel, dang it, I should have waited till Patrick's, but I don't know. I always wait till Patrick makes an offer. I'll be quite frank. So, because I always know Patrick's offer is the best, but there's nothing I can do about that if you're already in at a different price. Trust me, it's worth the $39.97. I promise you.
Well, no question.
Yeah, it's worth it. So I wouldn't worry about the price right now.
We just want to make sure that, we can help everybody increase their business. And it's our way of just saying thank you for participating with us for the years that you've been with us. And we know how incredibly awesome you are. And we know how incredibly awesome your teaching is, because we've been involved in that. And, I'm going to do it myself. And, I'm paying the same thing everybody else is going to pay, even with my discount. So,
yeah. So, and same thing when you think about like Dory and everyone else who's being a part of this. I mean, I don't take this training, unseriously. We're only going to let so many people in. When we reach that limit, we're going to stop. I don't, I'm not going to play the numbers game and say, oh, there's only 2 spots. We're not doing that. There's plenty of spots left right now. But when we reach a certain amount, we are going to close it, because we're having those live, Zoom sessions. They have to be personal, right? We can't do 200 people. It won't be personal. You won't get the same effect. So we're trying to keep, the groups very small. Once it closes, we'll open up for a new group. So
Lisa, the one thing I do want to make sure of is, because the people that are here, we want to do this for, and there are some people that are sleeping and couldn't be here. So I'm going to leave that offer open just for 24 hours. And then I'm going to request that you remove that and go back.
We'll change the coupon and it'll go back up. Also, if I can make a request for everyone, don't run out and tell people what you paid. Don't tell them that Patrick did this for you, because all that's going to do is with Jan, I'm sorry. It causes it opens a can of worms for me, because then the other, people who, did webinars, then they feel like we're trying to do something, and we weren't. There was nothing in it except Patrick has always been this guy. I mean, every cool software I have, I usually, if I see something, what do I do, Patrick? Hey, you got a link?
Yep.
Because I know Patrick's going to get us a group buy deal, right? So it is what it is. Now, I'm going to give you guys a 30-day money back guarantee, just like I would anyone else, right? Sign up today. If you don't like the program for any reason, okay, 29 days, 23 hours, 59 minutes from now, you let me know and I'll give you your money back, no questions asked. Now, if you get a refund, obviously you don't get to keep the bonuses, of course. The 3-week training, because we're starting that early, that's going to give you access. You're going to see what we're like. That's part of your 30 days, right? That's why we're doing that. We're doing that free training so everyone can get in, and, when the program starts, we're going to be good to go. So, the link's at the bottom of the screen. Do you believe in yourself, right? That's what this program's about, you believing in you, right? If you don't, and you're not willing to put in the work, this is not the right program for you. It's not a lot of work, but if you're willing and you believe this can happen, you'll gamble a few hours to try this. I'm telling you, this program will change your life. It's changed mine, and I'm the inventor, founder, whatever you want to call it. It's totally changed mine. I'm more proud of this program than I am of my entire agency or my other businesses I own. If that helps you any. I mean, it's just we're gonna do this as long as everyone will let us. So just a reminder, 12 weeks, you get that, you get the 60-minute strategy with me. Jan, you're going to reach out to me. You know, I am going to, no, Jan said, it's okay. I just paid during wrong time. No, you didn't. I'm going to hook you up. You get with me on Skype and I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to give you something to make up for it. And if you're watching a replay and you joined another program, leave that one. Don't, you know, just leave that one. I'll make it right. We'll give you something. So 60-minute free strategy, the agency traffic secrets, agency power pack, and the training. Now, what I have to do, Patrick, I'm sorry I have to do this, but I have to double my offer. Why? Well, because the system's set up that way, right? And what do I mean by that? If you take action, anybody who signs up right now, the system's set up to give you this, so I have to tell you about it. You're going to get double the vouchers. 20 business card vouchers, 10 postcard vouchers, 10 logo vouchers, 2 $1,500 websites, and 10 $2,000 websites. We doubled it because you need these things to succeed. Maybe you don't need all of them, but you definitely, you know, for those of you guys who want to do some of the methods, you'll need these first 3. So we double it. But to do that, you got to do it in the first, you know, like you guys got to come in now, right? So next week, if, you know, you see this, you can't come in. All right. So with that said, go to www.agencyfasttrack.com/RFR. Okay?
I put the link in the chat, Lisa, as well.
Perfect. Now, I've had people ask me on other places, why can you offer the printing so cheap? I own the print company. Okay. Because these methods work so well for us, over time, we actually open a print company. Nobody owns their own printers anymore, but I am my own print broker now. I don't go through someone else. I have direct to the manufacturer, the guys with the printers. So I own my own print company. That's why I can get it at the prices I get. Okay, I just went all in. I want you guys to go all in. If you're in, throw it in the chat, say you're in. If you have questions, throw those in the chat. We'll put this back up for you guys. Let me just get to this last screen.
3X, Lisa?
Do what?
Is the fast bonus included in the 3X?
The fast action bonus, what?
Payment, the 3X payments, 3-time payments. Is
Oh yeah, let me show that. Let me show the slide. Yeah, I have made the 3 payment deal available to you guys, and it's a weird price because we had to figure in that discount Patrick gave at the last minute. So it's $267 a month for 3 months if you want a 3 pay. So if you go to the 3 pay, you do have to go to RFR3. Okay, RFR3 is what you have to go to. If you want the 1 pay, no, I'm sorry, you just go to RFR. I'm sorry, and the code is RFR3. Yeah, just go to RFR. I'm screwing up here. This is wrong. Now, when you go to the page, just so you know.
Everybody let me know if you're in, if you're picking this up today.
Yeah, here's the page. This is the 1 pay. This is the 3 pay. Put in RFR and when you click this one, put in RFR3 if you click this one. We had to create a special page for Patrick because it was a special deal. So he got his own page, RFR. Yeah, so we had to do it that way. But let me put the final has everything on it. All right, so here's what you get. So $697 one-time payment forever. You get all this. And then if you want the 3 pay on that page, you have the ability to do the 3 pay. The 3 pay is going to be $267.
And everything's included in the 3 pay. Nothing's taken away, right?
Yeah, fast action bonuses are included no matter how you pay. Nobody's going to get punished for paying 3 times. I've seen people do that. That ain't right. If you need to make 3 payments, it's a little bit, I think it's a little bit more money to do a 3 pay, but you know, that's the nature of it, right? If we didn't do it that way, everyone would do the 3 pay, and we don't want that. So if it's a one-time pay, 3 pay, doesn't matter. You're going to get all of the bonuses on the screen. They're all yours to be had. Okay, fastback. Yep. All right. Answered that.
You're all good. So give me a 1 in the chat if you're in. Let me know who's in.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, I know we've gone really long here, so lots of people are probably going to watch the replay. But if you have any questions, put them in the chat. If you're watching a replay and you have questions, down at the bottom of the screen, you can go to support@aftxs.com, or you can go ahead and just send them to Patrick. Patrick will kind of push them through. But let us know if you have any questions. Patrick, do you see any questions?
Yeah, what size class would you limit the course?
All right, so we're going to limit the course to 50 people plus alumni. What do I mean by that? We're not going to count the people that are going through a second or third time, because they're probably not going to ask as many questions this time. You know, they're going to be pretty good about helping us manage the chat. So we're going to do 50 people, and I think we have 20 some odd right now. So we're about halfway there. When we get 50, we have to shut it, because otherwise that Zoom interaction just doesn't work, if that makes sense. We'll have another, you know, I think version out in April, but in April, you're going to pay a whole lot more to go through it.
All right, Lisa, it's awesome. I can't wait to get started myself. I'm going to get RJ in it as well, our support staff, to participate. So, you know, that'll be two of us, just because we have to increase our level of support with all the products that we have, and the support of all the members in RFR and G&B Factory and Backlink Factory and Flickr Factory and Image Factory. I mean, you know, we've got 32 products, so we have.
Yeah, I remember when it was just a few factories, and now we have an entire.
I remember when it was just one.
Yeah. So, but hey, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all in this together, and we all need all the tools. Now, do I talk a lot about SEO? No, I mean, we're not there to train you on SEO, for example. This is much, you know, attributed to you. Those skills, those are the easy ones to get, right? It's the building the business that I struggle with, right? I didn't struggle with learning SEO or learning website design. Where I really struggle with is replacing me, getting the right outsourcing partners, making sure I had things set up right, getting my process set up right, being in the right mind frame, you know, knowing how to build, you know, a quick funnel, not something crazy. Just the stuff that is going to move your business, you know, kind of over that ledge. That's the stuff we're really focused on, right? So you're not coming here to learn SEO. You're not coming here to learn, you know, website design. That's not what you're coming to learn. Okay. And Mike James, Patrick said he's in. Good to have you, Mike.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so that's what this is about. It's about your X. And when I say your X, we spend a lot of time helping you figure out, what do you really want in life? I thought I wanted money, right? I thought my goal was money, and it was almost like a video game, more money, more money, more money. But it's not money. When I attributed to money, then I didn't want to spend it, because that was my level of success. And when I put money as my level of success, I actually screwed myself, because I didn't want to part with it, because I was parting with my success. So there was weird stuff in my head that I had to figure out to say, you know, freedom was my X. The idea that I could have this freedom, like today, my agency, I want to say I spent 2 hours on my agency today. 2 hours. That's it. I had 2 client calls. And one of them was just hey, let's get together and wish them a Merry Christmas, go over a few results. The other was a serious, you know, go over results, new customer. They were, you know, pretty serious, but we still wished them Merry Christmas. That's it. That's all I did with my agency today, because that's the level of business I have. That's the X I wanted, right? What did I spend my time doing today? I worked on this, you know, for Patrick real quick. And then, and I should have sent this to someone else, but I didn't, because it was last minute. So I had to do it. But I worked on some business stuff I'm going to do for January. I started working on, you know, some more stuff on this course. That's what you're doing with this program, right? You're getting yourself out of the day-to-day. You're getting in the mindset of, how do I run a business? Stop calling it an agency if that screws with you. Call it a business. You're a business owner, right? And so that's what this program's about. And we solve all, you know, the headspace stuff you need, or at least get you started. You know, you get access, and somebody didn't ask this, Patrick, but I hear this all the time from people. You know, what access do we get? Well, you'll get the welcome section. You'll get to kind of get started. Everything else is drip fed week by week, not because we don't think you know, want to go forward, because we need you in the right headspace week after week. It builds on itself. And if you just run forward through the program, you're going to get less out of it. So we make it so you can't do that. You know, we take that out of the equation.
We're gonna probably have to leave because I had this webinar set for a little over 2 hours, and you know it will automatically quit in the middle of a sentence.
Okay, well, just again, HTTPS www.agencyfasttrack.com/RFR. If you're watching the replay, Patrick, you said you would honor this price for 24 hours. I will honor all the fast action bonuses as well for 24
Thank you,
hours.
Rick.
Fair enough?
Rick is in. James is in. Couple others. Let me know if you're in. And, you know, once again, thank you for coming, spending time with us today, and meeting. If you never knew Lisa, Ted kind of said it earlier, Lisa, which is a double testament. You know, he doesn't know who you are, but he does know who I am and respects what I think. And that's awesome. Ted, thank you very much. I appreciate that above most things that I can think of. So,
yeah, you shoot straight, Patrick. I've seen people ask you about stuff. You know, I'm in probably 5 RFR different groups in some way, shape, or form. And I've seen people ask you, you know, what do you think about this? And you're not mean, but you do tell the truth. Like, hey, it's a weak product. I mean, it's not bad for, you know, what it does, but hey, go look at this. And then 20 people ask, well, what is that? And the next thing you know, Patrick's got us a stupid price, you know, we've never seen before. So, you know, I'm definitely with Ted. I trust Patrick. I trust your opinion. And I thank you for inviting me to your space.
All right. Very good. Thank you very much, guys. All that are here, Facebook. You've got the link as you see on the screen, and I also put it in the Facebook group. So everybody have a great day. And Lisa, thank you so much for taking time to do this, and more so taking time to put this together, because I know this isn't going to do anything for you. I mean, you're doing this simply because you want to help others, and we really appreciate it.
Well, I enjoy doing it, so might as well make a couple dollars while I'm doing it, right?
Yep. All right.
All right, guys, have a wonderful night. And for those of you who celebrate the holidays, have magical holidays.
Okay. We're officially done. Thanks, guys.
All right. Let me know if you get any questions, Patrick, and, you know, congrats to you guys who got in. It will be amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get a couple questions. It'll take me a little bit of time to get the replay done and downloaded from Zoom. And then when I do, I'll push out another email, and I'll push out a couple. Merry Christmas, Marie. And we'll get it out there and just, you know, see what on the list and what people do. But yeah, I don't want to leave this open-ended, because it's just not, it's too valuable for that.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, sir. Have a good evening.
All right, guys. See ya. Bye-bye. See ya, everybody. If I don't speak to everybody, have a Merry Christmas. And we got some new things coming, you know, for the new year, and we're working on some good stuff. So
Awesome.
all right. See ya.
Looking forward to seeing you in the program too, Patrick.
I'm going to be there.
All right. See you later.
Bye-bye.